round 20 of the Japanese Grand Prix for Division 1. My name is Indigo, and alongside me tonight is Owen Mansell. My apologies, everybody, for getting up the stream late. I was streaming on the wrong channel, but we're back at SFR now, so apologies about that one. We're still here in qualifying in the wet conditions, and Owen Mansell is the championship leader for Division 2. He's alongside me tonight.
Yeah, hello guys. Apologies about that. I was questioning Jamie if he was streaming or not, but he was, but on the incorrect channel. But yeah, no, as you can see, wet weather, and so like I said before, we had rain in Division 3, no rain at all in Division 2, and now obviously, as we can see, rain in Division 1, and at the moment on pole is Kaname, who's done a 36.091, so that's nearly around 6/10 quicker than anyone else so far. But I'm expecting tires to improve, of course, because obviously it's wet, and the track, I would say, would grip up more and more as the more rubber goes down in a way, and there is a dry line, I suppose, starting to appear at some point as well. Nordus goes P3 as well. Well, he's actually on another lap. No, he's not. He's across the line now to start another lap right now.
Noah Dietrich in the Williams, and he scored a decent result at the Austrian Grand Prix too. Williams are starting to get some good drivers now with Fireblaze and Noah Dietrich. Noah Dietrich finished 7th at the Austrian Grand Prix last time out. Here he is coming towards the line. It's going to be a 36.0 from the Duchy, and he puts himself on pole just about 300 ahead of Kaname there. Fireblaze in 16th place, also going for a lap time. If you didn't notice earlier on, he was on the soft compound tyres, believing that was the way to go at the early stage of qualifying, but he switched over to the intermediates and realised that was the better tyre indeed. Apologies if you hear a noise in the background, that is my ear. As we make our way out of Spoon then, where Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen made contact back in 2018. A few people have spun out of Spoon as well, including Valtteri Bottas hits the wall on the outside too. Harry Kane goes up into P3, Fireblaze at 17.9 in the middle sector as he makes his way down towards the Casio Triangle chicane, where we saw Ayrton Senna and Alan Frost make contact back in 1989. Fireblaze out of the final corner, where we saw, I think, Timo Glock hit the wall in 2009 as well. Fireblaze comes towards the line. It's a 36.0, and despite the wet conditions impacting the circuit, the top three are super close again in the 36.0s. They are.
Yeah, so super close so far. We've got Noldus currently on a lap time, and he's actually 1.1 quicker than his previous lap. So he's going to be maybe the first person to go into 1 minute 35 here. So Noldus then coming right through the final chicane. I think it's the slowest part of the section, maybe at the hairpin as well. Here he comes then, across the line. What this will be, exactly what I said, pole position so far, but quite a mile, half a second, 35.5 from Noldus. So yeah, brilliant lap there from Noldus. I don't think he's had a pole position this season yet. So yeah, at the moment he seems to have good pace around here, especially in the rain. So obviously if he's still there by the end of this session, he'll be hoping for I suppose a wet race, because it seems like he's having good pace so far.
He is indeed. Blue Rocket is not here, unfortunately, tonight after a great race at the Austrian Grand Prix. The man that took pole off both Hasses, Reisenstaff started second, and Jensen started in third place with an amazing qualifying Aldous, who got caught up in that first DRS train with a broken wing, and that's why he had to drop all the way down the order too. Same with Fireblaze. Fireblaze opted to stay out, and it helped him in the end because he changed his front wing despite having to pit earlier than the rest of them. Still made his way back in the DRS train. Watched the guys at the top fight amongst themselves and took the pieces once the guys ahead picked up penalties, and also was in a battle with each other as well. Ferrari, Bobby comes towards the line, but I think he's going for another lap time in the Ferrari then. I think it's his first appearance this season, AMS Bobby. We're getting quite a few AMSs here. I'm trying to get Renz in. The main guy I'm trying to get in is Renz. I've messaged him, but he hasn't responded back just yet. So Notice on provisional pole so far with a 35.5, 5/10 ahead of Fireblaze and Noah Dietrich, with Harry Kane coming towards in the first sector. Kane is 2/10 up. Oh, clouds the curve, into gravity goes, and that lap time has been invalidated, unfortunately for him. So too much speed going in towards the corner there. Sebastian Vettel, I think Sebastian Bourdais as well, also crashed there with Lewis Hamilton and Heikki Kovalainen. A few people have gone on the wall there, but Harry Kane luckily avoids it. We don't really see a lot of people hit the wall there nowadays. And Bear Remy, his teammate, goes up into P5 with a 36.1, and he's 5 thousandths quicker than Bobby as well. I think Nordus last week has overtaken Bear Remy for P3 in the championship. So Bear Remy has been on the back foot recently, so he really needs to show what he could do, and he needs the help of his teammate as well. He needs all the advice his teammate's given him to put it to good use.
Yeah,
Exactly that. Like you said, he's around third, fourth at the moment. Nordis is, as Pocket Valley guy is also on the pole, just coming through 130R now. He's about a second up, but by the look of his lap times, it won't be really pole, so it'll be around, I'd say, 36.4, so just maybe behind Rising Star, but it depends how good that final chicane was for himself, and he goes up to P9 with 36.2, so just behind Rising Star, so that's him into P9. As AMS Bobby in the Ferrari goes up to pole with a 35.2, so 3/10 quicker than Nordis. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, these times will obviously are going to keep on improving and improving and improving. And again, I think it is going to come down to that very final lap of this qualifying session.
Indeed, as well. The track will continue to improve. I don't think we'll get to a stage where it'll stop raining and the drag up our tyres. So these guys are going to have to deal with the intermediates as well on the wet conditions. And we'll see which one of these drivers has the skill and confidence around the circuit to try and get the pole time, which is AMS Bobby so far on his debut here for SFR Division 1 this season. Currently has 3/10 in between himself and Noldus. Noah Dietrich is out on the circuit once again in P4. The man, I think, that has raced about 2 or 3 races this season, has done a fantastic job indeed, as he was in the Sauber last time at the Brazilian Grand Prix, finished ahead of Fireplace, but now I think he's a full-time driver for Williams. He's raced 3 races this season and has got a lot of points too on his name. So here he is then on his outlap, and we'll see what he could do then as he makes his way slowly towards the final 2 corners to prepare his tyres, and we could get going for a lap again. Staying up board with Noah Dietrich as he crosses the line. I believe Kadeem's out there too in the Ferrari. He finished P4 the Brazilian Grand Prix, 2 seconds away from, I think it was Blue Rocket at the time, to get a podium after Blue Rocket sustained a 6-second penalty. Noah Dietrich then through to turn to the back of the car, wandering away as he tried to get the throttle there. Massive wheel spin, so already compromised into turn 2. As you can see, mounting the curves. Don't really see a lot of people do that in this game because the curves usually throw you off the circuit as he's trying to... oh, look at that again. Massive snapper oversteer as he gets back on the power, going through Dunlop and go. Back on the power into 5th gear as we make our way towards in the first set. I presume he's going to lose time, which he isn't. 4/10 up in the first set. Oh, look at that. A massive snap going into the first deck there, and unfortunately Noah Dietrich has invalidated, but that suggests to me 4/10 up means the track is definitely improving, like you said, Owen.
Yeah, and Kadeem is currently just coming through the final chicane now. He's currently 7/10 up, so again, he might even go pole now. So let's see what this is going to be. Crosses the line now, and there we go. He's now on pole with a 35.2, pretty much the exact same lap time as his teammate Bobby. So at the moment, it's a provisional Ferrari 1-2. So all the Ferrari fans out there at the moment will be very pleased with them too. But again, like I said earlier, these times will be starting to improve now. And like you can see now, 3 minutes left of the session. So all these guys now will be maybe coming into the pits to begin their final lap. We're getting prepared for that final lap, or coming out on their out lap now and really starting to warm up their tyres. As Rising Star really does go really wide on Degner 1, goes into the gravel, and that's his lap all done and validated as well. But he's still got time to, of course, do another lap. It's Pocket Valley guy coming through the chicane, but he cuts the chicane, so he's invalidated. So that's his lap over. He's pretty much doing the exact same lap time as he was doing. I think Noah has also maybe just finished a lap. So that's him. Well, again, he's also still got time, and a lot of these guys right at the front are now all starting to get a bit prepared now for their final lap. As you can see, quite a lot of people on their out lap.
So Kadeem remains on pole with a few people doing the same mistake at Degner 1, carrying too much speed or mounting the curve and throws them off the circuit. So we've seen quite a few people do that so far. And with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the session, still plenty of chances to try and get lap time out. I think Noah Dietrich is going for another flying lap as he continues down towards the hairpin, the Maruka Kobayashi hairpin, where he did quite a lot of overtakes back in 2012. And I think 2010 as well, 2011 as well, and finished on the podium for his first time in his career at the Japanese Grand Prix. A very underrated driver, of course. Ended his career in the Caterham, and we all know the Caterham and Mushers were bad back then as well, back in 2010 towards 2014. Manor did survive till 2016, and that was the end of them that year as well. Noah Dietrich coming towards the end of the middle sector. Let's see if he's up or down And let's see, can he improve? Yes, he can by a second as well. And this could put him on provisional pole. Can he keep it nice and tidy now? Going towards these final 2 corners we go. Slow the car down, use the curbs there to really attack the track and get the maximum amount of time, which he does do as he gets back on the throttle there. No signs of wheel spin. Noah Dietrich comes towards the line. It's going to be he lost 3/10 in the final sector, 35.3. Was he a bit too cautious going towards the final 2 corners there? And that's why I lost a bit of time. Caname, a few hundreds down the first sector. Bobby's on his out lap. We've got Doris, 1/10 up, but I think he's a attitude. That's why he made the noise, isn't it?
Yeah, I was on board with Nordis, and again he bumped a little bit too wide on the Degner 1 at the exit there, and he was actually a 10th up, so he was on a lap. But I think he will still have time to do another lap. So he's got about 45 seconds left to get round, which should give him plenty of time to do another lap. But of course, that depends on if he's got enough fuel as well.
Here's Kaname in the middle sector. He was a 10th up in the first sector, 10th up in the middle sector again. So extended his margin there as he makes his way towards 130 off. Fernando Alonso on Michael Schumacher as we head down towards the Casio Triangle chicane. We were seeing plenty of moves as well. Alex Albon and Lando Norris, I believe, back in 2019 in the Red Bull versus McLaren. Here comes Kaname towards the line at 35.0. There's his teammate Bobby going for his final lap of the session. Anybody out there? Notice has got 10 seconds left to spare to go for another lap time. What about the 2 Red Bulls? We haven't really spoken of them. Remy is 1.1 seconds up in the middle sector. Rise to start in the Haas up into P9 as everybody else is out there right now to complete their final lap except Pocket Valley guy. Here comes Remy towards the line. P1. Red Bull and Remy is on pole for the first time this season. Can he stay there? Lays across the line and stays in P10. That's Pocket Valley guy, sorry. But the Red Bull is on pole. But Harry Kane 5/10 up in the first sector as he squirms out of Spoon now. Going towards the end of the middle sector. Can he keep it nice and tidy? As we'll see what its intermediate is. It's going to be a 16.8 and he's 1.3 seconds up. This might take Paul away. Could it be a Red Bull 1-2 instead of Ferrari 1-2 now? Both Ferraris are still out there as we come towards the Casio Triangle chicane. Keeping it nice and tidy, making sure he does not invalidate or lose the car. Out of the final corner he goes then, using the overtake left available. Can he take Paul away? Yes, he can. It's a 34.6 and that's 2/10 between him and Remy as well. So, in elsewhere, we've got Bobby on a flying lap. Where is...
Noldus is improving. Noldus is about 6/10 up at the moment on obviously sector 1, so he's coming up to the sector 2 line now. So let's see what this is going to be. Just before 130R, of course. About to cross that line now. What's it going to be? He's about half a second up on his time, so this could be enough for maybe his first pole position. There's a load of people going up. Bobby goes pole with 34.1. That's it. That's him on pole maybe. But here he comes now. Noldus, final chicane. What is it going to do? Losing so much traction there on rear end, so that might not help. And he goes P forward, 34.9.
Wow. AMS Bobby taking pole towards the end. So a Ferrari is on pole. And he's 5/10 clear of Harry Kane and Remy. Great qualifying from both Red Bull drivers. We know qualifying hasn't really been their strongest suit this season, as Dragon has invalidated his lap time too. So qualified has done a dust to the man that won the Japanese Grand Prix last season. MDJ is down in P16. Adams out-qualifies him. Langfeld's in the middle of them both. But disappointment for the man in P12, Fireblaze, who's picked up about 3 podiums this season with excellent results. He's got 1 win and 3 podiums as well this season after fantastic racing. He missed out on a win last week because Jensen spun the final corner. Fireblaze was forced to avoid him. Then Harry Kane just pipped him towards the line, and I never felt so bad for Fireblaze at all. He deserved that win, but it's so cool the way the sports works when it's not in your control. And unfortunately, when you lose the race win just like that, and he'll be looking to bounce back. But for starting P12 down there, it's going to be very difficult as well to make your way to the field. Hopefully for him, it's a dry race because it's a better chance to overtake. But we'll see if he switches over towards the dry. So Laser, the championship contender, is in P10, and Yoham is happy with his result as well. The Tier 2 driver, the Div 2 driver, and he will start in P9. There is your classifications then. Bobby's on pole ahead of Harry Kane by 5/10. Very great qualifying from him. Exactly what he needs ahead. And Nordis, another great qualifying for Nordis as well. Kaname and Rising Star, the 2 newcomers in the last few races, doing a great job once again. Rise in P7. He was the backmarker last time out of the Austrian Grand Prix. We saw him spin at the exit turn 3. Noah Dietrich in 8th ahead of Johan Laser P10. Dragon 11th, Fireblaze 12th. Pocket Valley Guy 13th. Adams, Langfeld and MDJ are the ones to complete the back row of the grid then as we head off into the race here in Japan. You excited for this one, Owen?
course I am. Always am for Division 1, especially from how close it is and we have rain. And it's even worse than it was in qualifying, so I'm expecting this to be full wets this time. And so, again, because of that, no mandatory pit stops needed at all. And it does seem like Division 3 and Division 1 are just cursed with rain. What if? Yeah, I don't know why, but it does seem like we've had a lot of rain out this season. I don't know how many wet races we've had in Division 1. I know it's probably not as much as we've had in Division 3, but I would definitely say Division 1 is second out of how much rain they've had in the season. But yeah, no, we'll see. We'll have to see how these guys can cope. Obviously, with Japan as well, it's not the easiest tracks, of course. A lot of high, well, let's say low traction turns, especially at the hairpin, both at the Degners as well. That can be difficult in the rain, and obviously, of course, the whole of Sector 1 will be very difficult because those curves around there, there's a couple that you can touch, but there's a couple that you just can't touch. If you touch it by very slightly, it will cause you into a spin. I did that a couple of times in my practice yesterday. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it again today. And obviously, like you said, in qualifying at the end, it's going to now be a lot more difficult to get these overtakes done. But with that, I think we'll see a lot of the overtakes done down towards the chicane and up towards the 130R as well.
We saw the two Hasses going wheel to wheel, especially with Michandia, the one that hadn't had a race win this season. He overtook his teammate, the championship leader Pabelli. They managed to get Steink towards the end of the race as well. With great blistering pace, overtook him and managed to hold him off as well after he was coming back to attack him and win his first race of the season in Japan in wet conditions. So Michandia, we're finally happy that he's got his first win of the season, as I think his teammate Pabelli has taken most of them. But yeah, Pabelli can win the championship next race in Qatar easily, and in Division 2 as well. Still very close between Mansell and Burmeister. Burmeister is looking to return at the Qatar Grand Prix, the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So you've got a lot on your hands there, Owen.
Yeah, I know what I need to do. Obviously, Burmeister knows what he needs to do, and obviously Adams is still in there. I think the top 8 are still basically mathematically in this fight in Division 2. But yeah, with Adams, he basically knows what he needs to do, but he'll basically need to hope for a miracle at the same time. And basically be a little bit lucky as well to able to get back into this fight. But yeah, I've worked out what I need to do. I'm not going to say on stream, of course, because maybe Burmeister, my championship rival, is listening, so I don't want to get him to know what my plan is. But with me towards Burmeister, I know exactly what he needs to do. In a way, he basically just needs to try and finish ahead of me and hope I finish quite low down. Obviously, the gap at the moment is about 19 points. So he basically needs to gain around about 6 points a race to take it to make it very, very close at the very end in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, my plan is just to basically try and keep with Burmeister as much as I can.
Let's hope you do that then. You versus Burmeister should be a great one with Adams as well. Hopefully Adams can regain some form, because he was quite strong towards the start of the season. You were slowly getting up there. Then you started to get some podiums, then a race win afterwards as well. And a few DNFs and more race wins. So it's been a topsy-turvy situation for all three of you there, with all three of you having your own difficulties. But it's all about who can keep it cleanest the most, and who can score the most points, obviously, towards the end of the season. And hopefully we can see a fantastic battle between all three of you. Klusler, he's been waiting in the background too. Klusler hasn't got a win this season. Only one podium, but he's just there. You know what I mean? He's just right there.
He's there to pick up the pieces, basically. If anything happens, basically us three, even Dan. I think Dan is also in this fight. Again, he's just been there. Just wait. Just maybe something will happen between us three, us four, and he could just pick up the pieces. It can happen. Obviously, I don't think we've ever seen it that dramatic in SFR before, but you never know. It might happen at some point.
Had some dramatic races in the past few races in SFR in a good way too. Action pads on the limit stuff, nail biting action towards the end of the Grand Prix, especially in Austria, because we didn't know who the race winner was going to be until they crossed the line, literally, with Hurricane just beating Fireblaze by about 0.005 of a second. Fireblaze started P12. He started P12, and we'll see then what he can do. Laser's just in front of him. I'm not quite sure if him and Laser would apply together, but yeah, if they are applied together, it'll be very funny what they're talking about, because Fireblaze is I only known him for like a week or two, and he's a very funny character indeed. And yeah, I'm not going to mention what he said to me and Laser yesterday, because we were in a party together, all three of us, and it was very funny. He made us laugh all night. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you what he said, but yeah, if you talk to Fireblaze, he'd probably tell you. But yeah, not for me to say, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see then if it's the Inters or the wet club hard tyres. It's the Inters, so not torrential enough to go on the wet club hard tyres. And Madsa, you got a few people talking about you in the comments.
Yeah, so we got Sai, who of course is a Sonic Core. He says our boasting session by Mansell, of course. And then I believe Dan as well. Energy Danny says Mansell, I'm not the fastest, but I've been consistent. Finished in the top 10 bar a few times. Don't feel like he should be up there, but knock. Here I am. You know, there is a lot of guys. I'll see three or four people, well, 3 or 4 drivers that are definitely there that are still in this championship fight. But obviously, we haven't even really spoke about them being in the championship fight. But like I said, if us three, I mean the top 3, if we can, I don't know, somehow just not finish these last 3 races, they're all there to pick up the pieces. So, you know, like I said, anything can happen. But our main focus now is onto Division 1, where these guys are about to finish their formation lap. And yeah, let's wait and see what happens in this race.
16 drivers then line up on the field, and we're about to see what will happen. Klusler is the Russell of Division 2. Are you sure that this is not a replay from Monday's race? It never rains. There we go. It never rains on Wednesdays. I couldn't see the full comment there because it didn't show me, but I went back on the YouTube channel to see it. So all 16 drivers then line up on the grid with a Ferrari on pole. I believe a Ferrari took pole in Division 2. I think it was almost I can't exactly remember who it was. But now 16 drivers line up on the grid then. I'm about to see what happens going down into turn 2. I remember the Haas, so Joachim, getting pinched. No, it was Electro Dan who got swallowed up by the field into turn 1. Here we go then, lights are away, and looks like Rising Star gets a terrible start. I think he's lagged out. Yes, he is. He's stationed on the grid. As we head down towards turn 1, the remaining formation so far, as they all go one by one. Joachim up the inside of Rise, going down into turn 2, taking the place away from Kaname as well. So that's 2 for 1. It's going to be a yellow flag down there because the Haas is not moving whatsoever. I think he's lagged out. Unfortunately for Rising Star, who's got tremendous pace, the man that finished on the podium last time in Austria, but so far no contact between anybody. They all filed through very nicely indeed. I think it was Joachim who made up the places there, but Bobby leads them away with Hurricane in P2, followed by Beremy, and you can see that Kaname is right at the back and notice that as we head down towards the first deck there, as you follow through, going in towards the second one as well, but not major change. Oh, notice just hit the back of Beremy, gets a terrible exit. Aquaplane in there, and Kaname also went to the back of notices too. As here comes Joachim, almost doing a Danny Kivy out there, where he went off and crashed into the wall, but luckily saves the card. In the background, that is Pocket Vanagai and Jaugen going side by side, and also Pocket Vanagai has been overtaken by Fireblaze is up into P10, starting from 12th up to 10th place. As we head down towards 2. Oh, there's contact between those two. And Fireblaze is off the circuit, and he's been demoted down a few places as well. Oh, one contact there. Bit of a bargy one there for Fireblaze. Back where he started in 12th place there. Not what we want to see whatsoever, but elbows are between those guys on the first lap. As you can see, that Kaname is under massive pressure from the orders as he overtook him, I think, going out of the hairpin. But didn't really see that, but he's done it. He's up to P4. Next target is Beremy.
Yeah, so obviously it's a 2-3 at the moment for Red Bull. So Beremy at the moment is always nearly there. He has some very good races. As Kaname now is going to go for that move at down turn 1, and he gets that move done. I think Beremy was maybe breaking a little bit earlier. See if he can get the switch back, but you know, Kaname keeps it on track, gets that move done. So that's now Kaname up to P3, and at the moment Kaname looks very quick, but now obviously his main target, his main target now is obviously catching up to Harry Kane and AMS Bobby, and Bobby seems to maybe have more downforce on his setup compared to Harry Kane. Harry Kane was about half a second at the start-finish line, then now it's gone up to 1.2, obviously. So yeah, Bobby seems to be a lot more confidence in the corners, but yeah, let's see if Harry Kane and Kanane can catch up to these guys. We've now got Yarham and Noldus battling. The Yarham has just gone down the inside at the hairpin, and Yarham is now up to P number 5. Yarham's next target is Beremy, and obviously Yarham having a good race so far. Remember, he is a Division 2 driver. I think he finished on the podium yesterday. Goes up to that move, and he goes up to P4. So Yarham, at the moment, is got a great pace around here at the moment. So yeah, up to P4, and this is a Division 2 driver as well. Beremy seems to be struggling a little bit. So because of that, I think Noldus will obviously now be trying to maybe have a look down to that chicane, but he's at the moment being sensible.
Great stuff from your home indeed. Got one overtake on the inside into the hairpin. I was very annoyed I didn't see it because Rise of Star joined back. He messed up my spectator menu, and I had to fix it straight away. I literally just saw the aftermath, and he overtook Beremy as well. As we go down towards turn 1, Nordis is looking for a move on the inside. Rise and Fireblaze going side by side there. Rise just stays in front. On the last lap, Pocket Guy went side by side with Rise, I think it was, but Pocket Guy was off the track and he gave up the place towards Fireblaze. So he lost a few places going down into turn 1 and turn 2. Looks like Bobby's pulled away. The gap is 1.5 seconds and 1.3 seconds between Kaname and Harry Kane. So it's just settled down so far in this Grand Prix. It's the typical wet conditions where we see gaps opening up because there's not many chances to overtake around here as well. As Nordis is right at the back of Beremy. Beremy is really struggling now as we exit there. Nordis is looking for a way past. Noah Dietrich is right behind too. As we go down towards the hairpin we go. Beremy defends the inside line, but Nordis hits the back of him, and Noah Dietrich is looking to try and get past too. Rising Star joined the session, retired in the pit lane and left the session there. So Rising Star fortunately could not get in, and he is out of the Grand Prix then. As we head down towards Spoon we go between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Beremy's looking to try to see if he can get a decent result here because he needs it so far. Had rotten luck in the last race. I think he was a lap down at the Austrian Grand Prix. Ooh. What's happened?
Harry Kane has really caught up to Bobby, so Bobby's made a mistake somewhere, I don't know where, but the gap was about 1.8 seconds, and now it's come right down to literally nearly 4/10, so it's an opportunity now for Harry Kane to maybe take the lead out of Bobby. Of course, Harry Kane has won the last 2 races. He's now in double digits of race wins. He's consistently now pretty much on the podium. He's doing a laser now, but at the end of the season, like I said, with laser, start of the season, we're finishing on the podium of every single race, but he's that's kind of died down a little bit now. But yeah, no, it seems like Bobby's made a little bit of mistakes, so Harry Kane is back on his tail.
Yeah, I think that ended at the Dutch GP relays. It finished on the podium every race he started, bar in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix where he crashed out. That was a thing for the time being, but unfortunately it has ended for Laser. He's picked up 8 podiums this season and 1 race win, which came in a wet impacted race at the Hungarian Grand Prix. MDJ picked up his first podium too that race as well, after those guys went on the right strategy in Hungary and beat the guys on the dry compound tyres. And I think at the time as well, it was, here comes Noah Dietrich on the back of Nordis again going down towards the hairpin, but still he can't make that move and he has to stay behind him for the time being. Then Harry Kane is still putting the pressure there on AMS Bobby going down towards Spoon, so the gap is about 0.7 of a second. And Dan makes an interesting point. He says that it's interesting, if I can get the message up, love how the wet shows different skill sets and pace deltas from setup differences, which is apparent from watching the twitching and also stability of the drivers. That's the one thing I was pointing out at the division race, because it opened up a lot of gaps, and I noticed that people were struggling in the corners as well. Some people were just able to get to use the throttle pedal very nicely to get to the corners, but Other was sliding around the first sector and not able to pick up the power as quickly as others as well. So it's very nice to see the skill range between these guys. Kaname in P3 is starting to set the fast after the Grand Prix, so the Ferrari driver's got pace, but his teammates under pressure. Could we see Hurricane and the Ferrari sandwich there, and him versus the Ferraris in this Grand Prix in Japan? Because these three are pulled away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, they have. So these three at the moment is definitely got a really good pace at the moment. Obviously, like I said earlier, Kaname seems to be maybe, well, the top three seems the quickest at the moment. As you can see, 4 seconds between the Arham and Kaname. But yeah, the top three is pretty much checked out here, really, and it might be a fight for the win out of the top three. Yarham at the moment is currently just sat in P4 on his own, really. Gap between himself and Kaname is about 4 seconds. Gap between himself and Beremy is now 1.3 seconds. But yeah, no. And then obviously everyone else is pretty much stuck behind Beremy. Nordus trying to maybe had a little bit of a look down at the hairpin, but no can do. And we've got a little bit of moving going on between the two V cars, MDJ and Adams. Adams, of course, as we mentioned already, in that fight for that Division 2 championship down in P14.
Well, at least Adams has completed more laps than he did yesterday. He's still there in P14.
Good point.
Hurricane, I'm only joking by the way, Adams. But Hurricane is right at the back of Bobby once again. So is he looking at the front overtake down the inside into turn one? Hurricane's clearly got more confidence than the Ferrari driver in front of him. But the question is, though, how difficult will it be? You can see the Ferrari gets a good release out of the final corner there as Hurricane can once again sets the fast up of the Grand Prix. He's there in P3. He's 8 tenths behind Hurricane. So this could be very interesting now to see the Ferrari, Red Bull and the Ferrari scrapping out because they left the rest of the guys in the dust. Yarholm is 5 seconds away and he's got a bit of company between himself and the guys behind too, followed by Remy, Nordus, Noah Dietrich, Dragon, Laser, Fireblades. It's a massive train right behind Yarholm too, but Hurricane in P2 looking to try and get his 11th win of the season. Oh, that was so close there. Almost dropped it out of Dunlop as the back end of the car was stepping out of him, but managed to collect it up and save it. And Kaname is 1.1 seconds behind, so he lost a bit of time in the first sector, did the Ferrari driver, but tends to get it back in the middle part of the lap and the final sector too, as Laser is right behind Dragon. Then let's see if this is a move on for Laser, currently down in P9, not had the best of races in the last few races so far. Has the McLaren driver been caught up in a few melees as we go down towards the hairpin we go. Laser's not able to make a move on Dragon so far. Dragon made his return back at the Dutch GP, and also him and Laser were fighting for P3 at the podium. Dragon was trying to go for his first podium since the Qatar Grand Prix last season, but he was just too far away to overtake Laser in the latter stages and finished in P4.
Yeah, so gap between Yarham and Kaname, 5.2 seconds. Kaname's kind of pulled back a little bit to the top two. But again, everyone just seems to be stuck behind Beremy up to Dragon. Dragon seems to be dropping back a little bit. So Laser will now be starting to have a look at Dragon, because obviously he will now be starting to hold him back a little, and he seems to be pretty close at the straight right now, the start-finish straight. But at the moment, Laser doesn't seem very not too aggressive, not aggressive enough the past couple of races. This is why Harry Kane has kind of pulled away a little bit. So Pocket Belly guys get a 3-second time penalty, first penalty of the day. But this is why I think Harry Kane is definitely leading the championship by quite a mile, because he's been more of the aggressive one compared to Laser. Laser just doesn't seem to be as aggressive as Harry Kane. But yeah, Laser, if he still wants this championship on, he needs to start to get these moves done.
Exactly. His best result before this came at the Mexican Grand Prix when he finished P4 ahead of me after I ran out of fuel, so he claimed one more spot. Harry Kane had a qualifying ban at the Mexican Grand Prix, hence why he wasn't up there. But after that, made a big statement so far, and Laser hasn't been able to respond as well. Laser was running inside the DRS train battle until he got caught up with those guys behind on newer tyres, so he wasn't able to catch Harry Kane either. But Matthias, the Red Bull driver, is right behind the Ferrari then as we make our way through 130 or kind of a lot of speed. Kaname's dropping backwards. The gap is 1.4 seconds, so whatever pace he had is starting to go away very quickly. And Kane's tyre management is very sufficient as well, because I remember him last season when he beat Glock and somebody else, Romovage too, when he beat him. Harry Kane has set the fast up of the Grand Prix as well, indicates his pace as Kaname's trying to get closer towards the top two. But we know the Red Bull driver has got some tremendous pace in the wet or dry. His tyres management has been very sufficient in Grand Prix racing. And like you said as well, Laser hasn't really been that aggressive. I noticed when he was stuck in the DRS train, just staying there. And look at that, Bobby's made a mistake in the first set, so he's started all over the place, backing Harry Kane up. And Harry Kane's on the back of him. Harry Kane tapped on the back of him too, as this will help Kaname get even closer and closer. But Bobby is sliding around so much on his centres there, so lost a lot of time in the first sector. Did the Ferrari, but remains in P1 so far. The pressure's getting to him. You can see the back of the car complaining every time he gets back on it. So I wonder if he's running a low downforce setup. Is the Ferrari driver as we make our way now towards the hairpin. We go another difficult braking zone, another heavy traction zone, as the Red Bull driver is just way to the background. Bobby is losing focus and momentum. There you can see him just squirming all over the place as the Red Bull driver is ready to pounce at any time. Nordis is still right behind Remy. Joachim is starting to pull away from the Red Bull driver behind him, and now is left in the clutches of Noah Dietrich and Nordis himself. But back on this battle through Spoon we go, the car drifting at the exit of the corner. Is this a big chance for Matthias to try and get alongside him and overtake him? Now on the inside line he goes. Let's see, will Matthias go down the inside of 130? Is he brave enough? No, he won't. He'll have to wait for the time being, but we notice that Bobby has got some good straight line speed, and he also gets a good launch at the final two corners as well. So here he is then, down towards the Casio Triangle chicane. Bobby needs a good launch to keep Harry Kane at bay. He pulls a few tenths between himself and second place, and this might save him then on this lap. But how long can he keep it up for?
Yeah, exactly that. I think that's as close as Harry Kane has been to Bobby so far this race. Obviously, that was a great opportunity for Harry Kane to maybe go for a move at the chicane. But the track seems to be improving. It seems to be getting drier as well. It seems a lot drier than earlier on. So it might become come dry at the end of the race. So obviously, intermediate tyres, and you'll probably be doing a 50-50 kind of tyre wear, let's say. So these guys will be paid for pitting on the halfway point. That's of course if we have rain for the rest of this race. But at the moment, it seems like it will be drying up at the end of the race. But we'll have to see about that. Gap between Bobby and Harry Kane, 6 tenths now, so Bobby is starting to pull away again, but we've seen this so far at the moment. Bobby kind of pulls away a little bit, then drops back, and pulls away, drops back. It seems like he's doing quite a lot of that at the moment, as Noah Dietrich has also got past Nolder, so I missed that. I don't know if you got that, Jamie, or not.
Of course I'm going to be. I never miss a battle. But yeah, Noah Dietrich passed Nordis on the straight. Easy overtake there. Had better straight line speed and just blast past him up into 6th place. And now puts him Remy under pressure. Remy is really struggling in the high-speed corners there. The back end of the car just always tail happy. He's not able to keep it under control. And now Dietrich fancies a move. Noah Dietrich, another driver who's entered the Williams category so far, because their main two drivers was Romovage and Rogue Smithy, but those two went. And they've had new drivers since then. But I think they found a full-time lineup with Fireblaze and Dietrich, the two Dutchmans, filling in for that Williams seat, and they need it as well. As Harry Kane sets the fast up the Grand Prix, 4 tenths behind. As we head on the straight again, Kane is not using his battery as he stays behind the Ferrari once again on lap 10 out of 27. But you can definitely tell that the Ferrari is struggling. Look at him drifting through turn 1 and turn 2. Is Noah Dietrich closer towards Remy? No, but Remy has that gap under 1 second then, so he's able to keep up with Joachim. But Joachim has a massive slide through turn 2, compromised on the exit, and you can see that Dietrich is right behind Remy too. Dietrich's best result, I think, came at the Brazilian. Oh, look at that, using the curve on the entry there, almost lost the car. That's what you were talking about as well.
I mean. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. If you take a lot of curve, I think it's always before the spin. I think that's Rise who has spun. He's probably done exactly what. Who is it? No, that just did a couple of literally just moments ago. Like I said, as soon as you touch those curves and the S's, that you're gonna go spinning, especially in the wets as well when the curves are a lot more slippy. Oh, pocket valley guy, a lot of curve. We've got a massive battle going on between Remy and Noah Dietrich. Noah Dietrich's going to try and go around the outside, maybe go and try and get the better exit, but he goes a little bit too wide, and Nordis is going to take advantage of that. But that didn't work. Noah Dietrich again is going to go maybe down the inside of that Spoon, But no, he backs out of it. So far, good defending by Bear Remy. Obviously, they've lost nearly about a second to Joachim because of that little battle. But yeah, a good little battle there from Bear Remy, Noah, and Noldus.
Kane once again rides the back of Bobby going in towards the Castillo triangle chicane, but we know that Bobby has good launch out of the final corner and is able to use that to keep him at bay. Kane almost lost the rear of the car there as he's got on the power, but is this a big chance now? Harry Kane, this is the closest he's ever been so far as he pulls the right side to break the toe. Bobby's moving right too as we head down towards turn 1 and turn 2 between Bobby and Kane. Kane is losing time again. Noah Dietrich side by side with Bear Remy, and he puts himself up to P5. Great move indeed for the Williams driver, on for his best sort of season after making 3 or 4 appearances in SFR so far. Next target is Joachim. Joachim running a very strong race so far in the Aston Martin, showing some good pace. And if he continues doing this, finding good pace, continues to learn. Rice is retired in the pit lane unfortunately after that spin and broke his end plate. But Joachim, if he continues to do this, expect him to be up there in SFR Division 2. But like I said, I know he's got the pace, but unfortunately just can't seem to get into a rhythm quick enough in the early stages of the Grand Prix. It takes a long time for him to understand the car, understand the way it works as well. With the heavier fuel, older tyres, he's not able to get used to it. But hopefully he's learned his lessons and found a way to control that. Harry Kane right again, right to the back of Bobby, going towards Spoon. He's so close. Oh, what's that? Is he lagged out?
Oh, I don't know what's 100% what's happened there.
I think Bobby's left.
I think he has. Yeah.
Oh no!
But hang on, no, he seems. I don't know. Does he seem back in this? No, he's not. He's not in the session. It doesn't seem like he's in the session. So he must have lagged out. That's so unfortunate for Bobby. He was having such a good race as well. Oh, I feel absolutely gutted for Bobby, and he's slowed right down as well for the hairpin. Yeah, that's definitely the AI taking over. So he's going to lose so much time now. Maybe even lose P4 now because of that. There we go. Now it's confirmed that he's left the session.
Harry Kane takes the victory, but not the way he wants it. But there's still one more Ferrari to deal with in P2. Kaname, who's got the gap just a second there. But does he have the outright pace to catch Harry Kane? Hopefully Bobby gets to the session quickly as he can because he's still in P3. Joachim, maybe this is a big chance for him to get a podium in Division 1, surprisingly, after struggling in Division 2, which is quite ironic there. But you can see that's catching up now, is Joachim, so he should be able to overtake the ghosted Ferrari quickly as he can. But still, Noah Dietrich, after dispatching Bear Remy, has pulled the gap down, has started to catch the Aston Martin. Can Noah Dietrich in this race find himself on the podium? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. As Nordis, once again, cannot find a way past Remy. Joachim did, Noah Dietrich did, but Nordis can't. He's still behind him. Still can't get rid of him, and now Joachim's up into P3.
Yeah, so with Laser, he's still right behind the Dragon, but obviously they've caught up a little bit with this pack again. But yeah, Laser will be also frustrated to not able to get past Dragon yet, because he's now down to it will be P8 in a second. But yeah, still behind Dragon, and now Bear Remy seem to have lost a little bit of time, maybe because of Bobby. Bobby might have distracted him a little bit, but this is just so guttering for Bobby. He's down to P11 now, and he's just rejoined the session now, so he'll be back in the lobby, but he's now at the back of this pack, so it's not going to be easy, not easy at all to get through the field once again.
So Laser overtakes Noah Dietrich before 130 Jargon, to name. Kaname is in the pit lane to get rid of his old Inters. Is he going for that undercut? Does he believe the Inters can't go towards the end? Here comes Noah Dietrich on the back of the Aston Martin. This is a fight for the podium here as Joachim goes defensive. Noah Dietrich switches the inside line, goes down the inside into turn 1, but Joachim carries the speed around the outside to remain in second place there. He put him in a acute angle, and that gave Joachim all the space around the outside to stay ahead and carry the speed, but Noah Dietrich has better grip, looks like, on the interstate, carrying more speed in these mid-speed corners in the first sector, left-right section. But let's see then. Sorry about that, I need to have a look to see what happened. Never mind, it's all good there, but continue there, Owen.
Yeah, Joachim, good defending at down to turn 1. He put Noah in the exact position he wanted to put him, and I think defending around this track, around the outside at turn 1 is probably better than defending the inside line, because he can travel so much speed around turn 1. It's a bit like the same at turn 1 at all. Joachim has actually lost the back end, and Noah Dietrich was going to take the opportunity for that, but he backed out of that move. But yeah, it has the camber angle at the Dutch Grand Prix in Netherlands and Zandvoort, the same here as well. So the basically the outside seems a lot better than defending the inside line. But yeah, Noah will now be trying to get past him once again. Bear Remy not really catching up with these two either, so let's see if Noah can eventually get past and see if Harry Kane will come in. Harry Kane has stayed out, so I think Kaname is going to try and get the undercut quite big on Harry Kane as well, but obviously with Kaname, his tyre wear will come into effect at the end as these guys are now coming to the pit. Here we go then. Noah and Joachim, same again. Noah is a lot closer this time and gets that move done even before we go down to turn one. So yeah, that's Noah now up to provisional P3.
I see a situation. I think I remember the Belgian Grand Prix, and there's a spinner. Is that Pocket Valley Guy or Laser? Is it Pocket Valley Guy?
Pocket Valley Guy, yes, it's Pocket Valley Guy. He lost it at turn one, I'm guessing, and now so Kanave's now got past him. And we've also got Joachim who's off as well.
He's got a puncher. So I want to talk about this. So I think that these drivers, they think he's going to be dry, and they don't want to do inter medium towards the end or hard. So I think they're trying to go as long as they can on the inters before the dry period comes. But he's got a puncher like he was at the Dutch GP. Pocket Valley Guy suffered the same fate when it was drying up towards the end. Pocket Valley Guy got a puncher, and now Joachim unfortunately has got a rear left puncher. What a shame there.
Worst time you can have a puncture as well, especially on the rear, because obviously these are rear-wheel drive.
This happened at the Japanese Grand Prix last season too, when I think it was Glock who got a puncher. Rabovac almost did too. Harry Kane pitted with about 5 laps left to go, getting about 3-4 seconds a lap. Not even kidding, go watch that race. And I think he took a podium away, or probably won it. But Harry Kane then, what's he going to do? He's going to pit. How good is his tyre punishment? We've seen at the Chinese Grand Prix, Daniel, Energy Down was the one that commentated with me at the Chinese Grand Prix. And he knows what I'm talking about.
Joachim really does lose it. He needs to be so careful with this puncture. He nearly lost it again, and Harry Kane has now pitted. I think he may or may not be watching the stream, and obviously he might have heard that Joachim's got a puncture, so he don't want to take that risk either to go for another lap, which is a sensible move for Harry Kane, of course. And then Bear Remy stayed out, and Noah has also stayed out. So if Joachim's got a puncture, lap 13. Yeah, we can know when the got safety car. That's Pocket Valley Guy. Something's happened to him. I'm not 100% sure exactly what's happened to him, but he seems to have maybe lost it at the he's lost it in the pits.
Yes.
Debris in the pits. Yeah, he's gone in the pits. Oh dear.
So safety car has been deployed then. It neutralises the race. Bobby adjusted on the medium compound tyres, but he's broke his wing. He had a moment, a spoon. He went off where Michael Schumacher went off in 2012. And Joachim is on the medium compound tyres too. So this is going to be very interesting. It could be another Hungary situation where I think people pitted on the medium compound tyres on a wet track, and it worked towards the end. And the Canadian Grand Prix in Division 2, where something like that happened as well, where I think some people on the intermediates towards the end, and that was the way to go, but a safety car came out, and the guys in the dry compound tyres was favoured as well. There's the safety car on the left-hand side to give way to the people. But we've got a break in this race now, and the situation is, and I think that Noah Dietrich will probably get ahead of Harry Kane, do you think?
Where's Harry Kane now? Harry Kane has just come out of the hairpin now. It's going to be close. But yeah, great opportunity for Bear Remy and Noah as well. 5 seconds was the gap between Harry Kane and Kaname when they both...
Oh, hold on. Oh. Noah Dietrich has got a left rear puncher. Luckily for him, the safety car is up. And Noah Dietrich, he's going to be very careful. He's going to be very careful. Get back in the pit lane carefully. That is so lucky there that he picked up a puncher under a safety car. So just make your way slowly back in the pit lane and get those tyres changed. Here he is in the pit lane right now.
Yeah, he might have lost a little bit of time, but he is so lucky that has happened under a safety car. Obviously, Joachim got that puncture during green flag conditions, but Joachim, it happened to him in Sector 3, and then goes straight back on to new intermediate tyres. And I don't know if you can see, Jamie, but it has stopped raining.
And I think these guys are going to put on the medium compound tyres. Noah Dietrich is on new inters. Beremy can aim. Harry Kane is on the medium compound tyres. They can take them towards the end. This is going to be very trusted, and it's not worse for Harry Kane at all now. And let's see where he will rejoin. Still in P4, so hasn't lost a lot of time, but he's done intermediate. So that's what I was thinking, Owen. That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking that the drivers were trying to elongate their first stint, so they don't have to do medium. They can do intermediate.
That's exactly what they were doing. Yeah, but the only concern that they have now is that they will be hoping that the track will dry out very quick. Like you said, in Hungary, the track wasn't really drying out until probably the last few laps at the race. So you might see something similar here. It just all depends the temperature of the track, and obviously air temperature, see if it will dry out. At the moment, it don't look. It still looks damp. Obviously, we won't see if the DRS will be enabled, because now we've got a safety car, and it won't happen until after 2 laps or a lap of racing now. But yeah, that Noah has maybe. I'm saying maybe because obviously the track. How the track is when we go green flag racing, but Noah may or may not have made the right call here.
Yeah, I concur. I think the track could dry out quickly, and
it does look drier.
Yeah, I concur with that one. I think Noah Dietrich has made the wrong call. It could have been the right call despite a puncher, because let's say if it was still raining, yes, it would have worked. Despite having a puncher, he would have rejoined in first place still, but unfortunately, he's on the wrong tyre, so it's a shame for Noah Dietrich. I think he probably panicked a bit when he saw a puncher, not realising the situation, not realising the track is drying out, and his main target was to get back in the pit lane without losing the car. So, not worse for Noah Dietrich. Will he box now? Go on the mediums to make sure he doesn't lose a lot of time. Oh, in the wall goes Harry Kane. What's he doing then? Trying to warp up his tyres. He went to the wall just then, and he's just survived out.
Yeah, so very lucky. We have seen that quite a couple of times in all divisions where people lost it, and
me too, mate.
I think we saw that. I think we definitely saw it quite a lot of time in Division 2 yesterday. We had 3 safety cars yesterday in Division 2, and Noah comes straight into the pits to go on some of those medium compound tyres, but he's going to lose so many positions. He will fall down just behind Yarham, so he's going to fall down to P12 here from that little bit that one mistake. Of not going onto the right compound of tyres has definitely cost him.
I'm not sure what Adams is doing. So he's in P5, and he's gone on to a bonus set of mediums, and he's added to P11. So he just gave up track positions for one life pressure into medium. So very bizarre strategy there for Adams in P12. Not quite sure why he's done that. Maybe he wanted to change his wing if it's damaged. Doesn't look damaged. So very bizarre indeed. Up into P5 and threw away all those places due to wanting new tyres. So yeah, not quite sure what Adams is doing, but anyways, we go back towards the top. Now Beremy is in the lead of this Grand Prix, working well so far for the Red Bull driver, who hasn't won just yet this season. He had 2 wins last season, one Brazil.
Into the wall again.
Who?
Beremy, went into the wall. But yeah, he's got away with that. He's only had a little bit of a tap, but yeah, he's got lucky. But by the looks of it, these conditions are still obviously not perfect, so they will probably getting used to the conditions as well.
Beremy has won a race this season. It was the Canadian Grand Prix. That's when he was the only one that did not pick up a penalty, hence why he won the Grand Prix. But Beremy go for his second win of the season, and also he picked up 2 wins last season, one in Imola with Harry Kane let him go on the line, and also one at the Brazilian Grand Prix where he beat Hazara. Beremy has had some difficult times this season, especially in the last few races where he got a lap down and has a few spins now and then, and bad luck as well in general, or just couldn't find the pace. But here he is at the Japanese Grand Prix, looking to shine once again is Remy, and Red Bull looking to extend their championship lead ahead of McLaren as well. Noah Dietrich's fallen down into P12, probably gone for yes, he's gone for a full spin.
He has. Yeah, so the traction obviously. I nearly went into the side of Yarham as well, but Yarham was backed out of it. Obviously Noah has now got back going again. He won't be able to overtake it. Now Adams is now losing it as well. So Yarham and Noah have now got passed on. So even though we're under safety car conditions, these guys are still struggling for traction. Yarham's had to give that position back because obviously that's what the game has said, and that's exactly what he's done. And now Drogon is now gone.
What are these guys doing, man?
Yeah, these guys are not having fun out there. Even though we're on And the safety car, no, Johan completely lost it. And he's now got damage as well.
Bizarre. Very bizarre stuff going on indeed. And Mick Schumacher lost it in Imola under a safety car. George Russell lost it in Imola as well under a safety car. I think he did it twice. No, I think he did it once. 2020 when he did it. Johan, race has gone bad to worse. A great first stint, but unfortunately after that it's gone downhill, despite the second stint being only a safety car on newer tyres. But yeah, I can't wait for F1 to come back this weekend. We haven't had F1 since like 3 weeks ago. The last race was at the... Where was it?
Oh my god. Even I'm struggling. Where was it? I can't remember.
Brazilian Grand Prix.
Brazil.
Max Verstappen.
That's it.
Yeah, Max Verstappen won his first race since the Spanish Grand Prix after a great drive from 70th place. No F1 action, but we had a bit of MotoGP action last weekend. And MotoGP was cancelled in Valencia due to the bad weather up there, but they moved it to Catalonia. And the last race was between Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia for the championship. Jorge Martin was crowned as a new MotoGP World Champion, so congratulations to him, my favourite rider as well, so very happy about that one. So MotoGP's done. They started pre-season testing yesterday as well. That's how quick they get things done. So the guys on older bikes switched to their new bikes, their new teams, for those people transferring into a new team, such as Marc Marquez, who's going to Ducati next season to partner with the 3-time world champion of Pecco Bagnaia. That should be very interesting indeed, with the best bikes on Ducati nowadays. But to F1, there is still 3 races left to go. Oh no! 5 lanes, it's out of the race! He's crashed under the safety car and he's out! Oh my goodness me! And the safety car is in as well towards the end of this lap. 5 lanes, it's out. Can you believe that?
Oh wow. That's just him maybe too harsh on trying to get his tyres warmed. Well, he's gone too aggressive on his tyre warm up and he's lost it. That's very unfortunate. He's basically done a George Russell back at Imola
in a Williams too.
Yes.
Here we go then, towards the final corner we go. Bahrain leads me away, but I think this track is still not dry enough. It's still slippery out there. And look at Nordis, it's right behind Harry Kane. So Harry Kane did not get a good restart, finds himself with Nordis at the back of him. Nordis is going for his first podium of the season, and now we're going towards turn 2. Fireplace says he spun, he had no temperature. Harry Kane, and look at Nordis squirming away. Bobby's up into P6 after lagging out so far. He's back up into P6. Noah Dietrich has lost a few places. Look at these guys struggling all over the place in the first sector. Fireplace said his tyres were 42 degrees, hence why he lost the car. And Fireplace is out of the Grand Prix. Johan's back in the pit lane as Bobby's really squirming away there. Kinane is right at the back of Bahrain. Oh, Bobby's made contact on the back of Laser. Laser is on the championship fight member, so he oh, Harry Kane is off the circuit there. I saw a Red Bull off the circuit, but it looks like he's back on it again. In the background, that is Bobby. Go for a move on Laser as we head down towards the hairpin. Late braking there. Bobby is up into P5. Laser underneath him again as we go side by side, but Bobby gets a better exit and puts himself back into P5. Is there a chance for Bobby to try and get this win again, or just at least a podium after his hard work? But Kinane is putting one of the Red Bulls under massive pressure. Bahrain is really struggling. All these guys struggling for tyre temperatures. It's all about survival now. Here comes Kinane without any DRS, side by side, and he puts himself into first place. So another Ferrari leads his Grand Prix, but it's Kinane this time. His best result came at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He finished in P4. Here comes Bahrain though, but he won't go for the attack. DRS is enabled on the next lap as well, so watch out. It's Ferrari versus Red Bull. Johan spun again.
Yeah, so both Red Bulls currently on that podium at the moment. Kinane is the fastest lap, of course. So yeah, at the moment, dual podium for the Red Bull team, and like you said, that's going to be a massive advantage for the constructors' fight with McLaren. But Bahrain's really gone wide at turn 2, so Harry Kane really pulled that gap. But Nordis has also quite lost some time compared to Harry Kane. But these Bahrain and Harry Kane are right next to each other. Are we going to see some team orders? Well, we're about to find out as Nordis really is catching up. But if these two do team orders now, they've got to be careful of Nordis behind, because if Bahrain moves that way, he's got to be careful of Nordis being right there as well.
Yes, exactly. Remy is really struggling in wet and dry pace as well. As he goes deep into the hairpin, Hurricane sneaks up the inside. Noldus goes deep as well. But look at Hurricane, gets a very bad exit. Hurricane can't get a throttle, and he stays behind it then. That's giving more time towards Knabe. Knabe's keep pulling away from the second and third there. Excellent stuff indeed from the Ferrari driver. Able to build that gap over 1 second then after Remy and Kane tripping over themselves. Bobby is right at the back of Noldus as well, looking to try and make it a double Ferrari podium. After lagging out in this Grand Prix, look at this, gets the overspeed, side by side, Noldus is derated, Bobby is up into P4, it's Red Bull versus Ferrari then, and we'll see which one of these two teams will come out on top then, the creme de la creme in Formula 1, as Bobby there is right behind Cabe. I think Remy should let Cabe go now, focus on after Knabe as we make our way towards the line. Knabe sets fast up the Grand Prix, Remy pulls to the left hand side to allow Hurricane go through, and Bobby then will have a chance to try and get Remy too.
Yeah, so now they finally switched as Noah and MDJ are swapping positions, but now they have switched, gives Harry Kane the opportunity to maybe catch up to Kane. But Bobby has been quick so far this race, and obviously he was just very unlucky with himself obviously lagging out. But safety car has really, well, basically saved him. He's now up to P4. So he will now try and get past Remy because, like you said earlier, Bobby has the opportunity to maybe take the race win. But with only a couple of laps to go, that's going to be one big task on his hand.
Kname's going for his first win and first podium this season in a sweet spot so far, but the man you don't want behind you is Harry Kane. The man that's got 11 wins this season, going for his 11th win. You don't want him right behind you either, so that's the driver you don't want behind. But Bobby there trying to separate both Red Bulls. Is there a way past to get past Remy? Is Remy just going to sit in Harry Kane's DRS and protect himself against Bobby behind? Remy's looking for a podium this season as well, trying to go for his second podium of the season after getting a win at the Canadian Grand Prix. His one and only podium this season as well, after a few struggles in the last few races. As we head towards the Casio Triangle chicane, Bobby there having a snap over the rear. But this should be a big chance for Bobby to get past Remy. You can see the steering wheel that Bobby does not have the ERS, so he's not able to make his way past the Red Bull driver. He's followed by Noldus 2 in P5, followed by Laser and Langford running another strong race with Noah Dietrich in P8 after him spinning out. But here comes Noah Dietrich. He's up into P7 now. What a shame for Noah Dietrich. Getting that puncher, putting himself on the wrong strategy. What could it have been for Noah Dietrich? If he just put himself on the medium compound tyres, he could have been up there. But hindsight is a wonderful thing, unfortunately, for him. And in the moment, you just don't know what to do because it's full of decisions. And unfortunately for him, it didn't go his way.
Yeah, I think he's just panicked a little bit because obviously he got that puncture. So his main concern was really to just get into that pit lane as quickly as possible, but as careful as possible as well. Try and not lose too much time. And obviously he didn't realise that the track was also drying, and he didn't realise that everyone behind him was going on to the medium compound tyres. So he had a lot of things on his mind at that current stage of that race, and obviously because he hadn't gone into that, he didn't go into the right compound tyre at the correct time, it kind of cost him. And now he's 4 seconds down on Laser, but obviously now he's on his own at the moment. Now he's kind of pulled away from Langfeld. Langfeld seems to be really struggling, maybe a wet settle going on at the moment with Langfeld. But Noah has got to try and catch up to this pack now, the top 6, which is all in this battle for that win. Which again, close again, like we have seen it for the past couple of races. See if we're going to get a very close finish again this time, like we saw last week.
Remy's the one that sets fast up the Grand Prix, but Harry Kane is gunning for it. Harry Kane is trying to get that gap under 1 second between himself and Kane for the battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. Kane, who made his debut a few races ago at the Brazilian Grand Prix, showing what he could do here. His teammate was Blue Rocket as well, but Blue Rocket is not here tonight. His teammate for tonight is Bobby. And Ferrari have been looking really strong recently as well with the good lineup. They're currently P9 in the championship as well, all Ferrari, but recently they've had some good drivers joining in. Blue Rocket has had consistent podiums too. Harry Kane is really pushing. You can see him out of speed he's carrying in the corners, and Bobby is right behind Remy. He's trying to separate both of them. As Johan spun again, is Bobby going to go to the inside? He's going to go for it. Remy slides to the corner. There's a bit of contact too as they both slide. Bobby trying to fight for traction, but Remy just stays in front there. They're both a ghost as Bobby is trying to go through Remy, but now they're solid again. Bear just stays in front. Joachim has retired in the pit lane, but Bobby could not find the traction there. He's really getting impatient now. Look at him sliding through the corners, almost into the back of the car. No, it's honest contact. Oh, that could have been so nasty there. Both of them.
Yeah, that would have been nasty.
Could have been in the wall there.
Yeah. It's happened a couple of times before, but they somehow got away with that. Both Nordis and Bobby could have that could have been race ending for both of them. As Bobby seems to be struggling a little bit now after trying to go for that flat move on Bear, so that's going to give Nordis the opportunity to maybe get that move done on Bobby, get that P4 back on him, and he does. And it seems like Harry Kane has also lost some time as well. Because he was about a second and now it's gone down to 2.1, so maybe he's not going for the win, maybe he's just protecting his teammate to get that double podium, because obviously that DRS really is helping Bearemi at the moment to obviously keep these guys behind.
And look at Nordis as well, carrying some good speed through the corners. Could he be the one to get a podium as well in this Grand Prix? He was fighting Noah Dietrich, he was fighting Joachim. Those two have had their own problems, and now he's on the back of Bearemi. Bearemi is really struggling through the corners. Oh, Nordis there, tapping the curb. Oh, Bobby's almost in the wall. Bobby. It was a continual effect, and now he rejoins in the path of laser. Because Nordis lost the car, Bobby tapped the back of him, he lost the car, then he rejoins in front of Laser, not giving the place up whatsoever, but he lets him go, interestingly. So does he realise it's his mistake? It wasn't a legal overtake, he just let him go. So good sportsmanship there for Bobby, rejoining right in front of him.
Yeah, very good sportsmanship from Bobby there. Obviously, he basically did block Laser's line, let's say, so Laser really had to hit the brake to obviously not make any contact. So yeah, good sportsmanship from Bobby, but they have lost literally a second to the top guys. But Bobby now is going to go for a move and gets that move redone now. So that's him up to P5, and there you go, Bearemi, 3-second penalty. That might cost him now. Because of that, is Harry Kane still going to help him? Because of that, that's going to drop him off the podium.
It is indeed. So Harry Kane dropping away for the win. Now that's been unfortunately for him wasted, because he was looking to try and get Kaname under 1 second range of DRS, but actually started to help his teammate. He dropped backwards quite a lot, but his teammate decided to get a 3-second tire penalty.
With that, now because obviously Harry Kane seems to be helping his teammate more than trying to get Kaname, we might maybe see more team orders, and Harry Kane might let Bearemi get past, and maybe obviously Bearemi to try and pull that 3 seconds, and then Harry Kane has got to be doing almighty of defence to obviously stay in that P3. But we'll see what they do. I very much doubt it, but you never know. But yeah, Harry Kane seems to be catching Kaname once again.
He is, so despite dropping backwards, he's still got the pace to try and catch the Ferrari driver. Maybe the Ferrari set into a rhythm, realising the gap's 2 seconds. That was 1.4, so Kaname's got to have his eyes about him. He's got to have his wits about him, because it's not over yet between himself and Harry Kane. Harry Kane could still somehow put himself in the DRS range of the Ferrari and try and go for the victory. So Kaname's main job, keep that gap over 1 second, and he's bringing along the pack as well. Nordis is still trying to find a way past. He's broke the DRS from Bobby, so Bobby's mistake Bobby's avoiding Nordis, avoiding Bearemi, as he sets the fast up in the Grand Prix. Does Nordis there, so definitely got some pace in the Mercedes. Where have you been for the whole season? I know Nordis had his own struggles. He lost his front wing in the first stint in Austria. He got spun round. Well, he spun himself around the Brazilian Grand Prix, but here he is back in 4th place. Driver ahead is Bearemi, who has a 3-second tire penalty. These guys scare me when they grab the curb on the inside. They really do scare me, because it looks like they're going to spin, but they catch the car immediately. But the gap's 1.2 now between himself and Kaname then. But he's only got 1 lap to try and do it as Harry Kane. Look at him. He's carrying so much speed in the first 2 corners there. Degner 1 and Degner 2. Carrying so much. The gap's 1.0. If he had to bat off, would Harry Kane regretted it if he had to bat off? Because now he's almost in the DRS range of Kaname.
Yeah, obviously he will only have 1 lap of DRS, and if he does get DRS, it will only be this lap basically, because obviously next lap you get DRS, but you only have it for about 500 yards. So obviously now he's just dropped into that DRS now, but he's gone back up again, so he might just miss out on that DRS. That DRS might come important if he does get it, but I don't think he will. It's 1.2. They have now crossed the DRS detection point right there, and no, you don't get it. 1.2 is the gap.
Here we are towards the final 2 corners we go. Beremy even might overtake his own teammate there for P2 to keep himself ahead of Norris if there's any way chance. But it's the last lap of the Grand Prix. Kinane leads the way. Beremy says fast lap of the Grand Prix now. But if Beremy puts himself up into P2, I don't think there's no way Harry Kane would defend from Norris and build a 3-second gap in one lap. It's very difficult indeed. So I think Beremy then up into P2 he goes. A nice clean overtake. It's a shame for Remy because he had a strong race so far, but penalties always catches people out.
What is Harry Kane going to do? I think Harry Kane seems to be backing up Noldus a little bit. He is. Harry Kane really is backing up Noldus to get Beremy that podium. So Noldus has got to really try and be a bit of aggressive person to get past Harry Kane. But obviously, so Harry Kane really is trying to get that under that 3 seconds. Obviously, his light was flashing, so I'm guessing his ERS was on none, which means you basically are not using any of the hybrid and using all the engine, so you're not going to get any benefit from that electrical motor. But 1.1 is a gap. Noldus is 2 tenths behind. Noldus here could finish P2 if he gets past Harry Kane, so Harry Kane's got to be careful as well.
Yeah, that's interesting there. I didn't think Harry Kane would actually do it, but he is. Well, such a good teammate this is Harry Kane. But Noldus is almost lost traction in the exit of Spoon, but recollects the car once again. Kinane is on his way to a spectacular victory after making his way to the Brazilian Grand Prix. As we head through 130R, I don't think there's going to be any crazy moves for Noldus and Harry Kane going down towards the chicane. Laser is ahead of Bobby, but now we're coming towards the final corner. Kinane, who made his debut at the Brazilian Grand Prix, comes across the line to take a fantastic victory ahead. And Noldus has got Beremy. Yes, he has. I thought he overtook Harry Kane. That caught me out. It says he was ahead of one Red Bull, and that really caught me out.
I tell you what, I believe Harry Kane's actually done quite a good job there, because Beremy has actually finished P4, so he's only lost 1 position, so good championship points for Red Bull.
Excellent stuff indeed. Fantastic drive for Kinane. Fantastic indeed. He was in P3 in the first stint, just sitting behind and waiting. Then all of a sudden, things came his way when he saw his teammate at the equation, and he really did deliver. And also that undercut works for him as well, because he pitted 2 laps before Harry Kane, and when that safety car came out, it really disadvantaged Harry Kane because he ended up rejoining behind Kinane. And that's the moment where Kinane had it all in his hands to overtake the Red Bull driver and Noah Dietrich too. So that was his favours as well. Fantastic. Then Noldus is back on the podium for the first time since the Dutch GP in another wet affected race as well. So yeah, he really enjoys the wet races. But we're going to get the podium interviewers now and see what they've got to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm getting all these guys in for you now, and yeah, like I said, see what these guys. But Noldus on the podium, his first podium, I think, since Netherlands, when he finished actually second place. So yeah, really good pace there from Noldus, and I'm actually happy for him. So yeah, it'd be nice for you to speak to him, because as soon as I get these guys in, I'm gonna be leaving you.
Thank you there. Thank you, Owen. But yeah, before you go, Owen, thank you so much for commentating, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we've only got 3 more races left together to commentate, to talk to each other. So it's going to be sad times after that.
Well, you never know. Anything can happen next season. Obviously, I don't know where I'll be for next season, but we'll find out. And yeah, we'll go from there, really.
Well, wherever you go, I'll always be in the comms box, so depends what division you are in.
Yeah, I'll try and work out a way of if I am in Division 1 next season, maybe I'll do comms for Division 2. We'll see about
that. Imagine that, if you win a championship in Division 2, you come back to commentate
it. We'll see about that. And all 3 have now been invited, so like I said before, it's totally up to them if they want to join or not. And I'm going to head off now. So, yeah, Jamie, been a pleasure doing comms with you as always. And, yeah, I'll be back for
see you in Vegas.
Las Vegas next week.
We know that Harry Kane usually joins the podium interviews, and now Madzo has left because he's got something very important to do. But we hopefully hear from our new race winner of Kinane. He finished in P4 Brazil. He was 2 seconds away from, I think it was Blue Rocket, after getting a 6-second time penalty. Also, Kaname had some work to do in Brazil because he had to overtake people on all the tyres, which he did do. They were all stuck in that midfield battle. But the man that finished in P3 is here, and we'll start with him. And notice, wow, mate, I didn't expect you to be the podium today, but welcome back to the podium, your first podium since Zandvoort. When did the moment start to come to you when you were on the podium?
When Beremy got 3 seconds, didn't think I had a chance before that.
So did you thought there was no chance of getting past him even without a penalty?
No, because I felt like, I think he ran a higher straight line speed, or I don't know, I just couldn't get past him, so I don't think I would have gone past him either, unless it was like a bit of an audacious move, which I don't really like to do. So I was happy to just take the P4, even P5. And then luckily, I mean, it's a shame, but I'll take it. I haven't got many podiums, so any podium will do.
Yeah, 2 so far this season, 1 in Zandvoort. Talk Kasui about your season as well, because I know you struggled in the last few races. I know in Austria, I think you had full moon damage because of that contact on that turn 3. Then the Brazilian Grand Prix you've spun. So talk us through your season. What's been going wrong for you, and how do you think you can try and sort it out? I know there's only 3 races left to go, but anything can happen.
Well, my main problem is that I've switched over to no ABS, and especially in Brazil, I spun out twice because I locked the rears, and that's just because I'm not that consistent with it yet. Some tracks I can do really well, some tracks I usually struggle more, and I had also strict drift in Brazil, which made me. I had a big shunt with the wall all of a sudden coming out of turn 2 with the center S's on the main straight there. I just swerved straight into the wall, which gave me wing damage. Still had okay pace there, but not much I could do. In Austria, I was just EA screwed over the game, so there's just a big back bunch of smoke. The smoke has turned black, so it was impossible to see. And then, so when people broke a bit early into that turn 3 there, I think 3-4 people got wing damage, including me. So yeah, I couldn't deal with it. So I just pitted, and then I stayed out for 32 laps on the hards. Then, so yeah.
I know you do the championship standards as well, so you've got to know this, but I think you've overtaken Beremy in the championship. You're in P3, and despite what's happened to you in the last few races, does that surprise you being in P3 in the championship? Does it like motivate you more? And do you feel more pressure as well because Beremy will try and get a response as well?
Yeah, definitely. But I think there was a lot of people that have dropped out during the season. People like Hazara and Ramabaj especially. And if they were still there, I'd probably be in P5 or something. But no, yeah, I'm happy to be in P3. I like racing Beremy. He's a very nice guy, and he's a good racer. So yeah, it's fun, but I'm going to have to miss at least 1 race in the upcoming weeks. So I don't think I'll be holding on to that P3.
And also, were you nervous about Harry Kane in the final lap, because it looked like he was backing you up to try and get Beremy over 3 seconds?
I was pissed. I thought, fuck, sorry language. I thought I was gonna be, because I was very happy, of course. Sorry, but I was happy when Beremy got the 3 seconds, as any driver would be behind. And then I had a feeling that Red Bull was going to try and do something, and they did.
Always.
But I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think you can really. I think Harry Kane would have lost too much trying to hold me up for 3 whole seconds. So I don't think. I know he tried, but I don't think it's possible. If it was another lap, I definitely wouldn't have had the podium. I think it would have been too hard.
Hold on, Nordis. Someone wants an invite to this party. I don't know why. So when this person comes, I'll have to try and figure out what they want.
That's okay.
If I could find them. So this person's been invited, but yeah, Nordis. Yeah, in the final lap. That I would have been so annoyed as well, because this happened to me before, where somebody in front of me has got a 3-second time penalty. They get ahead of their teammate and you get backed up. I would have taken them out, but yeah, well done on the podium today. And I know in the first stint you've had your struggles, because in the first stint you were stuck behind Noah Dietrich. You weren't really aggressive, were you? Because you were stuck behind Beremy quite a lot in that race. Yeah, you were actually stuck behind without the whole race, weren't you? Until that penalty.
Yeah, it's not that it was a pace issue, but I just did a couple silly mistakes. Every time I was trying to push and get close to Bear me, either he would have amazing straight line speed or ERS and would just keep me behind, and then I'd be out of ERS, and then when I wouldn't be saving up, I would touch the grass, and I lost 2 or 3 positions just doing that. I think my pace in the first turn was pretty okay. It was just too many mistakes. Yeah.
Nolders, it's Energy Dan, mate. Evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, no bad, mate. Welcome. So was that Nolders talking then, by the way?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
I'm Nordis. Yeah, it was Nordis talking. It was Nordis talking.
Sorry. Evening, mate. I want to ask you a question, mate. We saw you last season for the first time, or the season before.
Mhm.
And you've shown some absolute amazing pace and amazing progression. You've gone up a division, and we've been really surprised by your ability to stick it to these guys in Division 1. It's super impressive. And I wanted to ask, for the people that are viewing, what is it you do for practice specifically? Like, some people do a bit of TT and then GP and then whatever, but can you tell us what you do for practice, your regime weekly for practice, mate?
Yeah, of course. So usually, if I'm feeling motivated, I'll just start straight on Thursday after a race, and I always hop in time trial first. I usually find whatever the top time is and their setup, and then I usually look at what Laser and Hurricane are using, and they're using the same. And then I just drive with that in time trial, try to set a good lap, and then if I'm not getting anywhere, I usually like to just hop in Grand Prix mode, start a practice session, just drive around on the hard tires, feel it, and then do tweaks on the setup if I feel it's been too snappy, or I feel like I have too little straight line speed. And then I like to just do a quali, and then what I mostly do is I set the AI a little bit lower, and then I usually like to start from the back, and then I try to win the race. Just to, like, I get to practice pace, I get to practice where to overtake, how to brake with cars in front. And then, yeah, and then I just kind of do that on repeat, mostly Grand Prix mode, and then if I feel confident, I'll then hop it back into time trial and see if I can improve my time, and then I'll go back into Grand Prix mode and just grind it out.
So in GP mode, when you're practicing, just out of interest, what do you set your AI at, if you don't mind sharing?
I mean, I could do 110 to get close, but I usually just I put it down to 105 to have easy competition, because
Me too.
I don't really want them.
Well, thanks for just annihilating me there, because I struggle on 105. Cheers for that, mate. Yeah, nice one.
No, yeah, I put it on 105, and then if I'm struggling against 105, then I know that I need to do something with the setup, or I need to practice, or I need to look at. And I also like to look at esports drivers and how they do the track. That's what I do if I'm struggling. I look at what their ERS deployment is and how they take the corners.
It's great to hear that, mate, because there's a big divide in the SFR league. Obviously, we've got 3 divisions. We're hoping to go to 4 next season. So hopefully a lot more people will join and we can make this happen. But it's really nice to hear the difference between our fast drivers and people like myself that are Division 2 and struggling, and obviously there's Division 3. There's such a difference in setup, skill, and ability, and it's just nice to hear from yourself what you do for practice. I mean, I do something very similar. You know, I do probably 15 to 30 minutes on TT. I'll do a GP mode, but then also get with a friend and do an actual online practice, because I find the online practices are a little bit more realistic with grip. Because the GP modes, they don't really correlate. But yeah, but thank you for sharing, because that is really nice for all our members in the league to hear what you do for practice. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, mate.
Yeah, no, my pleasure.
Thank you, Dan, for that, and thank you, Nordis, as well. And yeah, Nordis, same words for me, mate. I'm very happy to see you be up there, because I remember watching you last season, and you had a slow start to the season where you finished outside the top 10 last season. Then all of a sudden you bumped up the pace and you were trying to fight for podiums, but I don't remember you getting one podium last season. You were trying your best,
No.
and I know you had you maybe got a 3-second time penalty, or somebody just beat you, or somebody like Ramovic was a better tire than you in China and just got you towards the end. But yeah, like reflecting off Dan, it's really nice to see your pace has really improved, and now you're fighting for third in the Drivers' Championship too, with all to play for in the last 2 races. So yeah, it's really nice to see your progression, mate. I'm really happy to see you. You're a very nice guy as well. I've had some really good conversations with you, and you've commentated with me as well. And through Ellie and through Nathan and through Star Wars too, and that's when I first know you from a long time ago. So yeah, I'm very happy to see your progression.
Thank you.
I will say one thing before we sign off, mate. I think Nolas personally, I think you can be a little bit more aggressive. That's my opinion, but I think you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive sometimes.
Yeah,
Just
I know, but
get those elbows out a little bit,
Japan is a difficult track, though. I could
is.
definitely, in Austria, yeah, for sure, but in Japan, I'm struggling to keep it on the track.
No, Nolas, you did the perfect thing tonight. You kept it clean, you kept it on track, and you kept it right, and you got a great result. But sometimes, personally, I think you can just afford to be a little bit more aggressive.
I'll take that into consideration.
Nothing that gets you in the stewards. Let's hope. But yeah, we can see a little bit more aggression for you, I hope.
Okay, I'll take it.
Good luck in the rest of the season, mate. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, last words from me, Nolas. Congratulations on the podium today. Well deserved. Your second podium of the season, and your progression is finally getting up there. Maybe next season, I really hope you stay here. Maybe next season, a race win, if that's on the cards for you, but you're definitely slowly getting up there. And you said you turned ABS as well. Oh, so that's another step in progression there, mate. And ABS, especially in the new game, is really hard to master, because in the last games it was very easy with no ABS, but this game is very difficult.
It's faster though. It is faster.
It is, trust me. It is faster.
Yeah, I mean, I was always ABS from the day one that I started these games. I've just gone no ABS this season, and I could not go back to ABS. It would be so slow. It is once you master it, it's way faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we move on to the man who's been waiting for a long time, Matthias Salah. Welcome, Matthias, back to the podium, mate. It may not be a race win, but still P2 in the end. How do you feel about that one? Do you feel a bit frustrated with Beremy picking up a penalty, because you were slowing down, I think, to give Beremy DRS to protect himself against Nolas? Then when he picked up a 3-second time penalty, you started pushing again, getting up towards Calais. So how do you feel about that race? Do you think you could have had more today?
Yeah, I could have definitely had the win on track today, but I wanted to help my teammate. He is in a championship fight. I am also in the championship fight, but the Lasers was a bit more behind today. So yeah, it was a good race. I struggled a lot on the first few laps. The Ferraris had so good pace in the first stint when it was really wet, but when it got drier, I just got more and more confident, and yeah, it was a good race.
We saw that Canadian pitted 2 laps before you, and were you trying to do the inter to medium strategy straight away, because you did inter medium strategy? Was your tyres on the first stint started to come towards the end of the cliff? Were you almost in puncture territory range?
Yeah, I was in puncture territory range. My tires were overheating, and yeah, I could drive on them. I was driving a bit faster than the guys behind, but that was just my pace. But yeah, unfortunately the safety car came out right as I got out of the pits, and yeah, these things happen. I feel like it has happened a lot to me this season and last season, but yeah, I had the pace to keep up with the first place, and would have got him if I didn't help my teammates. But I think maybe Kanei is going to get a penalty. He was AI under the safety car.
Oh no! And Harry, it's not the first time he benefited from that, because you reported Marco for doing the same thing. Then Marco lost the picture because of you.
Yeah. So
can I jump here, Jamie? Harry, it's nice to speak to you again, mate. Pleasure as always. You've been absolutely monumental this season. You've had 9 wins, 11 podiums. 4 of those have been fastest laps. You've only had 1 pole from what I can see, but you've consistently scored epic points. And you've got Laser. I would still say nipping at your heels is not that far off, but you've got 3 races to go with a pretty sizable lead. Are you worried about any of the tracks towards the end? You've got Vegas, Qatar, and obviously Abu Dhabi, and potentially Silverstone. So it's actually potentially 4 races left. Does that gap make you feel comfortable, or is there something there that's making you nervous that it's not quite done yet?
The only thing I think about is that the season is almost over. It's really fun to drive with the guys in this league. They are fast. Most of them are clean, and yeah, no, I'm not worried. I never was worried that I would lose the championship, if you can say that. I'm just trying to take it race for race, and yeah, I have had some luck in the victories I've had, some penalties that has gone my way, but I've generally had the base in every race, so yeah, I'm happy with the season.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your performances, you're pretty consistent, mate. We've not really seen you make a mistake this season that I can remember. Can you, Jamie?
I don't really know. Other than the safety car problems, and that's it. But that's high risk control, really.
10-second time penalty.
Belgium, yeah.
So I think you've kind of got this under wraps. I think you just need to keep focus towards the end. Laser needs to keep absolute focus. I think obviously it's yours to lose. I think you just need to make sure you finish in a good points position and do what you've been doing all season, mate. Yeah, it looks like it's wrapped up for you, but obviously it's never over till the fat lady sings, Harry. So I wish you all the best in the remaining 3 or 4 races of the season, because there may be a Silverstone. But yeah, I wish you all the best, mate. It's been great watching you race all season. You're a very fast driver, and ultimately a very clean driver normally. So it's been great to see, mate. So yeah, thank you for the season you've given us. And I wish you all the best in the next 4 races.
Yeah, thank you.
Matthias, reflecting off his words as well. Last week, when you won the Austrian Grand Prix, we ended the stream, and I think I talked to you about something after the stream. I want to talk about your composure during the races, the minimum mistakes you make as well. The pace you have is absolutely blistering. The consistency you have as well, because I know last season, season before, you were a bit hot-headed when you first joined the league. I remember you join my parties whilst I was commentating and just raging in them. But now you just stay focused to the you stay focused to the task, and you put your head down. When something goes wrong, you don't go out of control in the group chat where other people do. And when something does go wrong, you learn from that, and you better yourself as well. So yeah, Harry Kane, your character development and obviously maturing through those days as well has got better and better.
Yeah, and that's mostly because of the new team that I joined, the OVR, before the season. I think I joined in the last stage of last season, I think, maybe. And yeah, they have helped me a lot. I've understood that it doesn't help to scream every time you make a mistake. And it's quite frustrating for your teammates to hear you scream every time when you are ahead of them or fighting them, and they are also making mistakes. And yeah, it doesn't help. You just make yourself slower when you are not focused on the track.
Well, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matthias Salah, and good luck for the next 2 races, mate. I wish you the best, and wish you Laser the best as well.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. So, thank you, Dan, for joining the party for the podium interview unexpectedly.
Done the race with you, to be honest with you and Mansell, but yeah, I joined late. I was watching the race, but great commentary from you and Mansell, as always, mate. And a quick shout out to all the commentary guys of SFR. You guys are absolutely amazing. You know, Thomas, you got Thomas, Oliver, you got Smithy, you've got Simo, yourself. I forget a few, but yeah, you guys make this league what it is because you give the guys the commentary and the watch back that all the drivers love to watch back. I mean, it doesn't matter where you finish, you like to watch it back. So thank you all for your devotion to this league commentary. It's greatly appreciated by all the admins, directors, and obviously the drivers and viewers. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, I'm always here. That's my job at the end of the day, to give the best entertainment and action for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, regardless where I commentate, what division I do. Always give the action, always give the facts, and give the viewers what they need and the drivers what they need as well. Every single driver is important to me. Every time I do commentate, all 20 of them, or how many they are, and I will keep an eye on all 20 of them as well. So yeah, that's my job at the end of the day in different leagues. Just commentating, do my absolute best, try and give the best action out there, as well as the drivers too, put on the show. But yeah, appreciate that, mate. And the last 3 races are Vegas, Qatar, Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, and potentially Silverstone added towards Division 1 after the England versus Spain finals. And we'll see you all next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Join us back for Vegas. Monday, Thomas and possibly me. Tuesday, Simo and me. Wednesday, Simo, Mansell and me. See you all later. Have a good night.